back banning Infernal Shrines. And high chance that if Black takes the first set, we'll be going to Sky Temple because they've been going to that map second almost every time, really prioritizing these maps. And look, man, I feel like Mighty has a chance to upset a map here at least. This is going to be really exciting.
Yep, and MVP Black, as we explained, they have to stop. They can't even drop one single map. I know the upcoming match L5 versus MVP Black will decide everything, but still losing, we keep on falling behind L5. That's telling us something already.
Sure. All right. Here's the bans. Mighty removes Tychus. Black going to take out the Zarya.
First ban Tychus is very interesting, at least for me, because it's like it's putting Falstad for their team, but also it's opening up a lot of options for MVP Black on this. They have 2 pickups right now. They can pick up so much more.
Yeah. The prioritization for Black for Ragnaros has been quite low because you mentioned Kyocha is very weak on the hero currently. At least that's what it seems to be, as he's avoided playing it. Sake, who's actually ranged assassin, has been on the Ragnaros. Now, he's played a good Ragnaros, but it just weakens their team in terms of ranged assassins because, yes, Reset is good, but he's not Sake level when he has to fill like that in the all-rounder position. It's a good meta for them to have this situation because we're seeing a lot of solo range damage. Well, they're going to give Kyocha his hero right away. It's going to be the Zeratul, and Tist is going to pick up Varian. So a solid lineup here, a solid start. They're lacking the global, but one of the soft counters to Zeratul is already picked up. We haven't seen a ton of Varian tonight, but this is going to be a good place for MVP Black to start their draft. Now, Mighty is definitely going to consider the Dahaka here because if they take it away, they absolutely control globals on Dragonshire, and that would be a powerful move for them.
And also Ragnaros, which pairs up so well with Taunt coming out from Varian and Mighty. They have been using Ragnaros quite a lot, so it will be a good pickup in the second rotations. As Tychus is already banned out, maybe they want to choose both DPS even. I'm going a little bit too far, but and go for that DPS choke even with the second banning phase.
It could happen. It's absolutely a consideration to make. Black may be forced into that solo DPS. They're going to go
all-in tank.
Global focused all-in tank with the ETC here. Going to have a strong early game in terms of CC and lane pressure. But also, they have Stage Dive, Falstad's Flight, and Dahaka's Brush Stock. At this point, Black is going to have to look to win this game through their micro-intensive play and winning shrines without globals, which is going to be difficult on this map.
And we saw some counteracts. They can, I think, another way of going around, they would actually ban away Gudan. I was just going to say, having such a strong wave clear will also force globals to be used, and you can just bring the opponent right into your face, making them use that global trait and abilities, but they're actually going to take that wave clear out themselves.
I like it. I think it's a solid choice. I was gonna say for Mighty, they're really thinking about Hammer or Vala. Leaving Vala opens means Black has a lot of different options to pair with Vala. Yes, Zarya is gone, but they could try to push a Tassadar here. They have Ariel as well. Okay, with the Ragnaros here, unless something changes, it's going to be solo DPS for the 5th pick. It's going to be Reset on that. Sake will play the Ragnaros again, and this leaves Kyocha on his Zeratul. Alternatively, which hasn't happened yet, Reset could play Zeratul. He's very familiar with the hero, but I don't think that's what's going to happen here. So Black kind of broadcasting what their plan is from the start.
Yep, and Mighty, I think they really studied this draft hard as they want to go all in. They have a solid good comp with damage, mage, globals, and tank line, even Charism to counter Variant. I think they have really strong draft and even DPS choke. But MVP Black, they're the team that always finds the answers at the end. This could be anything that they want to. Vala.
It has to be Vala. The problem with Vala is, I mean, who else is it going to be? What other sort of range damage is available? They can't just go like Nazeebo here. That would never work. Vala's the only solid option for damage, and she has very little protection. This has been a really solid draft for Mighty, but they are a bit squishy with their Falstad, Li Ming, and the key here is going to be Kyocha Zeratul. I really feel that. We'll see if this is going to work. I feel like Mighty definitely did get the better end of this draft, but MVP Black, historically, the better team as we go into this first map, Dragonshire, here at HGC Korea. In blue, Team Mighty. Joker on his favorite ETC. Sands on Dahaka. Magi on Falstad. Nasam on Karazim. And SDE on Li Ming.
In red, MVP Black, Sake on Ragnaros, Reset on Vala, Tust on Variant, Kyocha on 0-2, Meride on Mount Period.
Sake is 4-0 on Ragnaros. So the weak point for Ragnaros for Black is only when Kyocha has to play him because they double DPS. But when they have solo DPS with Ragnaros, they've been incredibly strong. They haven't lost with that composition yet. And, well, I mean, that's not surprising considering they've won with almost everything they've done. But just that specific tidbit of information I feel is important. And Kyocha has been a really good Zeratul so far. Does get power slid onto here, though. There's the pull in, and right when I try to compliment him, Mighty gets first blood.
Yep, he does have a 100% win rate so far. But let's see if that's going to drop down looking after the first ping. I feel like MVP Black was really choked into that DPS, which Mighty hoped for. Let's see how well Reset can actually do without so much protection. There is just not much of a burst heal, no shield for Reset on Vala right now. But she's not the only damage from MVP Black. So let's see who Mighty actually focuses when Falstad flies over and use that Gust, connecting with Dehaka and ETC CC.
O'Prime, who's, of course, former coach of Tempest and one of our commentators here, pointing out MVP Black's reliance on Tist and how he's really the key point for MVP Black, especially on this map. Speaking of which, he nearly gets ganked here. Mighty playing super aggressive with Joker on the ETC. So far, so decent, though, for MVP Black. They're only a little bit behind in EXP. Sake is in some serious trouble. The Magi commits in here, gets hit right by the E. Unfortunate timing there for our Griffin friend there in Falstad, but
that will be another moment of Falstad fly birdie.
Yeah,
going into the highlight.
Definitely, I think that one might get shown. Channel attempt here. Meride can't squat. They get knocked off. Almost any other tanky hero might have been able to do it, but Alfurion is just not that guy here. So the game resets to about even in EXP. No one in Korea right now is running solo DPS Vala without double support of some kind, even if it has to be Medivh or if it's Zarya. You know, these two heroes not really supports technically by Blizzard's definition, but that secondary shielding. And MVP Black is going to try to reinvent the wheel. They're going to try to break the wheel here with what they've been forced to do in draft. And I think that's going to be the big question mark for this game is how well does Vala do without protection in terms of shielding and healing. She has Peel, she has the Ragnaros, the Varian, and Zeratul to help threaten the backline.
And they also, with that, they also have burst damage and also sustained damage with auto attacks from Reset. Reset goes in if he actually has that shield, but he does not. Exactly, gets punished for that.
Tist is going to get killed here as well. No way out on this one. Blown up there by SDE. Saga gets some extra soak top during all of this, but domination in the early phase of the game by Mighty. Now, I talked about how there's going to be a bit of a squishy mage backline for Mighty, but it's actually going to be auto attack Falstad coming out here for Magi, and because he plays kind of that solo roamer role, the longer the game goes on, the more powerful he becomes, the more stacks he gets, etc. Once he finishes the quest, he gets that auto attack speed buff. So they have two types of damage here. In the early game, has been getting a lot of his big bursts off onto Vala with his Qs, but the auto attacks he's going to have later on are going to be powerful in that sense as well.
Yep, and Mighty, they do have a very squishy backline, as you mentioned, and that will be the key of Kyocha going into the backline. We saw how powerful Zeratul can be towards the enemy's backline, especially when you can make those incredible mechanical super plays and just harass, which means just no damage coming out from the backline of Mighty. Let's see if actually can Kyocha be better at Zeratul than Jungha today. Seems like Zeratul's the hot issue today.
Yeah, this is his 37th professional game played in HGC Korea, so he's been a hot issue all throughout the tournament. But in these 2 matches tonight, absolutely going to be a key hero here, especially because it's tough to say whether Reset will be able to do enough consistent damage. He has been doing really well in making sure he's maintaining his hatred here in these poking moments where he's actually chunking down Joker. Tist is looking for an overextended SDE here, but it's just not going to happen with how safely Mighty backs off. They have a channel here, and Kyocha is going to deny mid. Meanwhile, Sake will take that top channel away, so they're not going to be able to get the Dragon Knight. But during this, Nasong rotates down. They're going to be able to take this camp as Black was forced to deal with that troublesome Dragon Knight, so that extra pressure. Just a channel Dragon Knight in itself before you actually try to take it yourself can be enough pressure to get you a neutral mercenary camp, as we see here in the bot lane.
And this gives a lot of pressure to MVP Black, actually, because they also have Mighty also has camp and also a lot of globals available. And Black, they do not have the most wave clear at the moment. So this Dragon Knight, if Mighty actually can push all the way in, they can get 10 and try to get the first DK for themselves.
They can. Joker just kind of aggressively leading the charge here. Reset does have Vault as an escape, but besides that, if he gets stunned, there's so much burst damage going to lock him down, especially with the Iron Fist Karazim here. So he needs to be careful. So it's just bullying this bot lane right now as Magi just sits in mid. He knows that Kyocha's here.
I love it.
He's not going to risk it. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Now Joker comes up. Kyocha has to leave as Black clears the bot lane. Mighty with a significant lead in this early game. Absolutely.
Yeah, we saw the exact point of Kyocha is trying to get the kill on Falstad. So he knows it. He knows it's coming, and he just have to sit in lane, soak up some EXP, just clear that wave. That's his job. And just join the team fight whenever it is needed. And Dehaka actually dodges that, even pulls Sake in stage dive right in. Joker comes in, and Sake is the first one to die.
Kyocha on the retreat here goes ahead and blinks. Tist gonna go for the taunt here. Not gonna find much.
That was almost too cute at them.
Yeah, almost too cute. Unfortunately, SDE actually left this bot shrine a little bit too earlier. They might have been able to get a channel. I don't know if you guys caught that earlier, but he was at like 99% of the channel, then left too soon. They're going to dive here onto Reset. Even with the silence here, not enough to save him. Magi's back as well, and he is on the chase. Kyocha going to try to look for potentially a Void Prison here. Drops down the attack on a Joker. Can't actually follow up with a Vorpal. Big root here, actually, though, onto Magi. Not going to be enough.
Yeah, not much of a follow-up damage. Ragnaros just joins the fight, and first DK actually goes towards Mighty. If Sake does not pop that Molten Core, let's see if actually Sake wants to delay a little bit here.
Looks like he's going to attempt to it. The Molten Core is popped here. Kyocha tries to get a kill into Magi, but unwisely so. Ends up finding himself 1v3 as the turn happens. Once this Molten Core expires, Black is going to be unable to deny this. I feel like they should try to top the channel. Look at this. Instant burrow here from Sans. He gets away, and now Joker is going to help zone out here as Magi attempts to channel. Big drag here onto Tist. 2 seconds left until Kyocha comes back, and MV Black successfully stops this channel for now.
Yeah, that was a 45 fight, but well done by Dehaka, just borrowing at the last second with Smash just hit on the ground right on top of him. Of course, borrowing does not get him any damage because of that. Okay. Well done. I would actually say well done by MVP Black, because they were a member down and still were able to push the entire team of Mighty all the way back.
Mighty heavily committed to trying to channel there, and so they all kind of got stacked up. Black got a lot of extra damage done. And yeah, I would agree. Well done by Black. This almost certainly should have been a Dragon Knight for Mighty, but Black turns it around here. Ooh, Magi gets caught alone there in the middle of the lane and is caught. Sans is actually committing very aggressively up here. Now, Sake wasn't here for the beginning of this fight, but he's here now. He does have his smash here, so he can actually try to lock down a target. We'll see if he decides to do that onto Sans. There's the taunt. Maybe he doesn't even need it. Down he goes. There's a silence as well, and Palm just barely saves Joker here. But a win here for Black, and every single heroic besides Gust basically used. And Kyocha gets the channel off. The first Dragon Knight of the game will be MVPs at 9 minutes.
Yep, that Karazim not really having that cleanse now is a big thing for Mighty at the moment, because Variant's taunt is just way too strong, especially on that false stat. They will actually think about it less once he hits that plunging touch later on. And they do have a lot of CCs, but just false stat blowing up from the beginning, that was the toughest thing for them right now.
Well, Kyocha gets pushed away here. Still a solid game on both sides. Like, this first Dragon Knight is not going to accomplish too much. Mid wall is down. He's trying to get that cannon tower down as much as he can. The pressure of the Dragon Knight, though, does help empower these Siege Giants to knock down this wall. Reset gets caught here, nearly dies to the Disintegrate. Merryday on point with a quick heal. Stage Dive's coming in. They want to get this fight. They killed Vala already. Reset being down here. Merryday's caught. SDE has his Disintegrate reset here. Nasong's going to secure the kill as long as he dodges the root Ice Bug used here. There's no way Merryday's getting out, though. Sad as it is. 2 kills for Mighty.
Great mechanics, but no way of getting out of there. And Nasong, I want to say a word to Nasong because he hasn't been really focusing on Karazim. He has been focusing on Rehgar a lot. We saw that. We mentioned that he was giving great Ancestrals, keeping great positions with Rehgar, and then he could have chosen Karazim before, but we saw him not really preferring Karazim before. But that's one of the new things that it seems like he picked up over the week.
Yeah, it feels like he's realized that, as incredible as his Rehgar is, I mean, it's actually really good. And he could camp this a lot easier with Rehgar than his Karazim. Needs SDE's help here. As good as Rehgar is, I think he's realized one of his weaknesses is definitely that Karazim is stronger right now and more meta, and he's able to pick up on that. Now, Kyocha is going to try to commit in here to denying this, and this is not a fight that Mighty's Nasong and SDE could take. Here comes a flight down for Magi to try to help disengage. Kyocha gets a Void Prison down. He may go down himself, but no, it's in fact Karazim who dies first. Magi was so close to getting the kill to Kyocha. He's insanely low with all that auto attack damage, but it wasn't enough. Sands tries to get out here, gets the drag. Will get away as Tis tries to parry his way out. Stage Dive comes in, but instantly the root comes down and the silence plus taunt. And that's going to be a kill onto Joker.
There's so much CC just available for Black, and Kyocha just blinks right in for a kill. Looks like Mighty's going to have a tough time right after this, as MVP Black just really showed what they can do with this comp. Like, literally, they showed all their power, all their CC. That perfect timing. It was incredible.
It makes Stage Dive look like a silly heroic here. Like, oh, you're just going to come into a place and tell me where it is?
Let me just press E, and then you're stuck there.
It's like, oh, so if you're coming right here, we have, so if you're a Smash, Taunt,
Entangling
Root, we've got Void Prison if we need it. We've always got Rain of Vent. I'm like, I don't know. Like, are you just going to broadcast where you're coming from? Because we are ready. With all the CC, that CC was insane. Joker had no chance. No way out of that one.
Yeah, he was being a little bit greedy when he was trying to look for, I don't know what he couldn't really get a pick. Maybe he just went a little bit aggressive at the last moment. He wanted to turn the game
If he had been
around
a bit quicker, that definitely could have been a great Stage Dive, but as it was kind of like too late. You know, it's like when you show up to the party and everyone's like getting their bags leaving, and you're like, ooh, I guess I missed out here. Luckily, when that happens in parties, you don't get like Sulfurist and taunted and rooted and then, you know, killed. You usually just kind of feel bad and go home. But in this case, that was a dead ETC.
Yep, and it was all from Kyocha's super play, just trapping Gleaming and Magi. There goes Falstad. Looks like we actually have a lot more Falstad movements.
Yep, can't get the double gust there. Sake does dodge, or, you know, use his Sulfurist to
just
try to
save.
dodge. Yeah, like he dodges his own Sulfurist now. Does use that to escape. The bot pressure here from Black is already on the keep. While Mighty tries to respond to that, they're going to push heavily here into mid and start threatening this keep wall. They could try to rotate up to get the top shrine and look for a Dragon Knight as well. 10 seconds until Magi respawns.
And Kyocha has been consistently harassing the backline and making really hard for Liming to do any damage. Even when Liming got the reset, she was so low she couldn't really come in and really turn the team fight around. It all started from Kyocha, and it looks like it's gonna continue for a while.
Could end with Kyocha with how much he's gonna have to do when they eventually get these keeps down. Sands comes over here to deny this channel. but he's kind of now caught in a trap.
He
See if
doesn't
he can get out. He gets stunned. Does get the burrow off.
Yep, and does have adaptation available. Is that going to be enough? Even used Gust just to save him. That's 2 for 1 traded heroic there.
And the top will obviously be channeled here. Unfortunately for Black, there's no one to channel bottom. They don't have a global hero. That's what Mighty prioritized in their draft, and that's one of the trade-offs here for Black. So they're just going to have to lose a fort and take a fort for that. They're going to make a trade now. Even trades are always better for the team that's closer to 20, because if you trade even, you're going to get 20 first. So Black is okay with this. They want a Dragonite. They want to be able to capitalize on these better traded heroics. Well, instead, they're just going to commit to the Bruiser camp. They're going to get it here. Big stage dive. This time, they get the power slide with it, and this is going to be a much more impactful stage dive. But it looks like Joker is setting up to come back in again. Reset's already dead. He backed off briefly there, but is actually going to commit to come back in.
And they actually want to get this kill on Sake as he's done. But before that, ETC is the one to blow up MVP on track. And that smash right on the face of Falstad.
Ragnaros is pretty good, as it turns out. That's going to get them 20.
Yeah, that was one of the best stage dive we've seen like within the last week, including this week too. And that was a great power slide, but not much of a follow-up. They could have close to like 2 or 3 pick off right after that, but MVP Black really disengaging so well.
Well, Coach is going to get the Dragon Knight now. You know, if they had Mage Falstad there, and I'm not even trying to say they should, but if they had more burst damage to hit all those heroes that were stuck there, perhaps we have a different team fight. But Kyocha is just a god right now. And now he's got Rewind. He's in the Dragon Knight, but once that expires, he has so much he could do. They're going to work on this bot keep first. And they're looking for more. 6 seconds to go for Mighty's members to respawn. There's no way they're saving this keep, though. It's absolutely going down. Kyocha, with most of his health gone down to 41%, is going to retreat away. They're probably just going to rotate mid, look for a little bit more damage on mid keep as they work through that wall.
Yeah, as Mighty is still a little far away from 20, as they should actually be soaking using those globals. I know they really want to defend this as they're losing at the moment, but they should actually be soaking a little bit more EXP. I think that's a wiser choice at the moment.
Yeah, I think there's feeling a little bit tense at the moment. Moggy's actually been one of the better players on Falstad at soaking in the late game. We've seen it since day 1, but in this game he's feeling more like he wants to be here up at the front lines defending. He does so much auto attack damage. I can't blame him for that. I mean, he's going to help chunk this Dragon Knight down with his autos very, very quickly. Kyocha escapes here. He's got 7 seconds left. Just going to expire the Dragon Knight on his own before it even runs out. And they save the keep, but they don't have 20. Bot keep down already catapults 2 of them, pushing the bot lane. And Black's going to control both of these camps while they have the 20 advantage. It would be crazy for Mighty to try to contest this. They just have to simply let it go, which is really frustrating because, look, they're not even going to take it, but Tist is going to make it look like they're pressuring for it. Kyocha shows mid too. They're going to take these bruisers, which is more pressure in the bot lane, which is going to go directly to the core. Now they can take the Siege Giant cap. They could get all 3. It's pinged here, and they are going to take it. And again, Mighty, until 20, there's nothing they can do about it. Now they have 20. It's too late to stop the bruiser or the Siege Giant cap.
But this is a lot of pressure going to that bottom lane. Even when Mighty has all that global available, I don't think 5 of them are enough. Let's see how well ETC can stage dive this time. Black Socket goes right into that Molten Core. They're looking for core right now.
That's right. Well, they got Molten Core already. We'll see if they can get the core and end the game. As Murdy moving up here to the front to help support Kyocha. And they are starting to hit that core. 95%. Sands very low. Here's the stage dive in. And a big gust actually trying to help isolate here. Joker goes in, but it's not enough. Look at that huge smash. Hits 3. Storm Shield's popped here now. Remember, there's a lot of actual siege damage from these camps and catapults from the behind. Starting to hurt the heroes as well here as they push towards this core. It's one of the biggest pushes we've really seen on this map at HGC Korea. And it's helping MVP Black push towards that core. Everybody's super low for Mighty. And it looks like they're going to be aggroed towards this mid keep. And MVP Black not going to get the core push they want, at least not without any more picks, but they're going to turn on this mid keep. That's going to be their consolation prize for this insane siege push.
No one dead from either team. Stage dive comes again. This time actually catching much more, but rooted at the same time. Void Prison to stop some damage. Magi is on to chase. MVP Black is on the run with Nasan. Gets a lot of damage from the back line.
Kyocha using Rewind to do a ton of damage there as well. And that's the kill onto Sands, and now Mighty is in some serious trouble. No mid keep to protect them this time, and Black is just going to siege up that core. Sake is probably going to have his Molten Core fairly soon, but I don't know if he's even really going to need it. Storm Shield does get used here. Big silence as well. There's a big smash on the Nasang. He survives. There's the Molten Core, and this might just be game. The Palm is going to go off here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Joker goes down, SDE the next to fall, and Magi the last man standing. Not going to matter here. MVP Black will take game number 1 on Dragonshire.
Super well done by MVP Black, even taking that heroic level at the very end with Ragnaros. Just popping that Molten Core back, that was a long pressure at the very end. They really wanted to get that core down, and Mighty, they tried their best and really tried to get a pick on Lee